This episode of Precision Opinions Live is brought to you by Vintage Labs. Vintage Labs is a professional-grade supplement and cosmetic company where each product is tested and reviewed by one of their exclusive pharmacists. Look for the pharmacist's signature on every package that ensures that the active ingredient falls within 5% of error and does not contain arsenic, lead, cadmium, or mercury. We welcome you to join the Vintage Labs collection, where they do the research for your health. Use promotional code LIVE, that's LIVE, to receive a 10% discount on all orders at vintagelabscollection.com.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Precision Opinions Live. My name is Connor, and I'm here with our guest tonight, Lisa. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So Lisa is a recent graduate of St. John's University, May of 2021. She is our telehealth specialist here at Precision Compounding Pharmacy. So today we're going to talk about telehealth. So give us a little background on telehealth and kind of what that means and how, it's been growing recently in kind of the field of medicine.
So telehealth is basically working with physicians and patients remotely from their house and from a physician's office, or even if the physician's not in their office and they're at their home office. So this really blew up during COVID because when COVID happened, people couldn't see their doctors, and just because the world was on shutdown, that didn't mean people stopped going to their doctors. People would go every month and they had to keep that up. So telehealth really got big during that because there was a really big need.
Exactly. So people, throughout COVID, people still have the regular issues that they need, to see their doctors, talk to their doctors, get help. So being able to have that access from home, even when all the, offices could be shut down, is a really great thing that kind of, expanded with the, new technology that's come out. Zoom has been huge for just, people talking face to face, but, still being miles away from each other. So a lot of cool and interesting things. So being like the telehealth specialist here, what is your role exactly? How do you play, being part of, we're here in Belmore, Long Island. How can you help patients, across the state, across the country?
So basically my role here with telehealth is I help with the onboarding process. So when we're going to start working with a new telehealth company, I coordinate with the managers there and we figure out what our game plan is going to be. How are they going to send over scripts? How can they properly write them? Because it is compounding and sometimes it's hard to write compounding scripts. So we go over that. We go over what they're going to be sending, how the treatment works for that patient, how the patient's going to get the medication, any labeling or certain thing that they would want. We have packaging that we can go through with them, specialized to their health company and what they want to do. So we go through all of that.
So yeah, it sounds like you do a lot of the merging between the company and the pharmacy's protocols, making sure that everybody in the pharmacy kind of understands the company's protocol and making sure that there's no hiccups, getting from point A being the doctor and the patient's conversation to point B being the pharmacy getting the prescription, all the way from the pharmacy sending out the prescription to the patient. That whole process kind of seemed like it could have some issues with, being that not too many people have direct conversations with the patients, being, miles away, like we said, but having a flawless and seamless plan between you and the company is something that you educate the staff on, and making sure that everybody is aware that the company's protocol is pretty much soundproof and that anybody can just kind of send over a prescription to us and have it kind of get from us to the patient without any issues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll talk to them. We'll see how they like to go about things, how we can go about things, and make sure it gets done in the fastest way possible, but also the proper way and without making any mistakes, because every company is different and every telehealth is for a different need and patients are different and they're all over the continent. So it's, we really just try to make sure that we have a plan that works for that specific telehealth company, but also, tell them what we do on our end and how we do it. So make sure that it works together. So that way, when we get a prescription, we know what the game plan is and we know how to fill it and make sure it gets to the patient in a timely manner and that the patient's satisfied and the company's satisfied with us.
And this is a need for people everywhere with all different kinds of, needs and conditions and things. So give us like a little information on what kind of, conditions and what disease states or what kind of fields that you're really specializing in, where, Precision Compounding Pharmacy can come in and help give service to.
So we really do a wide array of basically anything that is needed from us. So We could do anything from mental health to dermatological health to women's health and men's health. We could do like just overall body wellness and anything in that kind of field. We could do specific needs. We could do anything that relates to cardiology, to diabetes, to anything that is really needed of us. We make a right away of compounds, and we can formulate any compound to meet whatever the prescription's needs are.
Gotcha. Yeah. So dealing with all these different telehealth companies, and having their own protocols, that seems like it could be a big task. But that's why I know that the pharmacy now has a night shift, right?
Correct.
So yeah, what's that all about?
So we have a night shift because a lot of these telehealth companies are West Coast based, and we're obviously in New York, which is East Coast based. So there's a 3-hour time difference at the minimum. So we like to make sure we have a night shift running, so that way we can contact physicians when they're still at work, even though our normal work day would be done. And prescriptions still will come in, even though the normal pharmacy hours are done. We still get prescriptions coming in, and we want to make sure that we get them out in a timely manner, because that's the whole point of what we're doing. We want to make sure that we get these prescriptions out in a timely manner and get them out right, so that the patient's happy. So
Right.
if we don't do stuff at night, it just builds up. So we put on a night shift to make sure that everything gets out. And a lot of times the physicians, our 5 o'clock is their 2 o'clock. So, when we're ending the day, they're just starting their day or getting into the groove of their afternoon.
Exactly. Just because we go to sleep doesn't mean that they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a whole other world over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have their own lives over there.
Yeah, so that all sounds amazing. Telehealth being one of the things that is probably going to be the future of medicine, everything going virtual with the new technology, virtual visits, and like I mentioned earlier, the Zoom calls and things of that nature is really taking off for people that don't have time or don't have the access to get the help that they need and they desire. So it's really going to be something growing, and we need like young and open minds that, with forward thinking, that can really get us there. So young people like you are really going to be the future of telehealth and just, kind of the medicine world in general. So do you have any last points that you want to get across before we end this?
So yeah, what I want to end with is how us over at Precision Compounding Pharmacy and Wellness, we're really working best with all these new telehealth companies to conform to their needs, and making sure at the end of the day that they're happy, the physician's happy, and the patient's happy. This is a up and coming new thing, and it's changing every day, and we're very adaptable to the changes, and we conform with it, and it's a growing business, and we're just trying to make sure everything goes as well as possible. And we've done well so far, and we have a nice flow of how we do things, and we're very excited to see what comes up in the future and how we could best adapt to make sure that everything goes great.
Yeah, that's great to hear. We're really happy to have you on board. Thank you for coming on to Precision Opinions Live. And thank you guys for watching. This has been Precision Opinions Live. My name is Connor, and have a good one.